In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to Tinytask the new thriller park for you guys to get your hands on some of the new Halloween candies. Now keep in mind, this will be fully automatic, so you guys can create the Tinytask and then run it for as long as you want. Now, my setup does include 2 monitors. You don't need 2 monitors, so if you have 1 monitor, all you need to do is think of a different way to rejoin the private server. For me, because I have 2 monitors, I utilize both of them. In the video, I'm going to be showing both monitors. For you guys, it will only look like 1 monitor, but do keep in mind that they are separate. Now, for a team, please make sure you don't have Nightmare Luffy. I would highly recommend not having him. I have him equipped because I was getting levels on him. What I would highly recommend is you guys actually equipping a very good team. Getting to wave 50 solo is quite difficult. So you can run this macro to any wave you want, wave 10, wave 25, whatever you want to do. For me, my goal, probably won't happen because it is very hard, is going to be to run all the way to wave 50. Now, to think of that, what I'm going to need, honestly, I think Yuta, Gojo, very important. I'm actually not going to bring Kento. I am going to bring Bulma. I think we should actually bring a support or 2, just because that will be very helpful. We may want to bring All Might. I'm debating. We'll see in a second. I think we should bring some heirs, of course, so let's bring Jalal. And then for my final unit, I'm debating if whether or not we want another DPS unit. Actually, we're going to need Bleed. We are definitely going to need Bleed. I should have thought about that. So we're going to be bringing True Heart. So this is team I'm rocking. You guys can make any replacements you want. But yes, I'm going to be showing you guys how to Tinytask the new thriller park. So let's switch over to my first monitor here. So all I'm going to do is head over here. So I'm just going to switch this to my display capture. Now you guys can see this is one of my monitors. This is my leftmost monitor. So all I'm going to do is you guys can see my Tinytask here. Now for preferences, I do have it on continuous playback speed 1, of course. My recording hotkey is F8 and my playback is Control Shift Alt P. You can make that anything you want. The only reason I don't have F12 as my playback is because if you didn't know, when you hit F12 on Chrome, it opens like something on the left or the right end of the screen. And I don't want that to mess up my macro. So, here's what I'm going to do, guys. How I'm going to do this is I'm basically going to go up to this corner slot. Now, I do have to unfull screen my Google Chrome, so let's do that right now. So, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit F8, and for me, I love to start right here. Now, how I do this, guys, is I do go over to my private server, I go configure, I copy the private server link, so I'm going to regenerate it just to show you guys. I copy it, and I actually paste it into the browser and hit enter. So this is going to boot up the game. So what you're going to want to do is close it, okay? But now you have the private server code saved inside of your browser. So I'm also going to make sure I do something real quick. I'll switch back to the other monitor for a quick second so you guys can see what I do. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to unfull screen the game like so. I think when I unfull screen it, it is a lot easier to create a macro for. I don't know why, but that's just how I feel. So I am going to keep the game unfull screened. So you guys keep that in mind. You can do it full screened if you want. So once it loads up, I'm going to close this tab and go back over to my other monitor. So let's do that real quick. So now we are back over to the other monitor. And I'm going to go back up here. Like I just showed you guys, that's how I started. I'm going to make sure I actually have my Tinytask open so I know if I miss the record button. I'm going to go F8. You can see it's recording. I'm going to go up here. I'm actually going to reload the page like so. And now this is when the macro will actually start. Now, when you load in, guys, you guys can see I am loading in. Please give it extra time. The Tinytask, for all you know, one of the times you're loading in your private server could take a lot longer than the other. So please make sure you wait. Private servers are free, so for the Tinytask, you are going to want one just so because you don't want to get randoms in your game that could potentially mess up your Tinytask. Now, what I do when I load in is I like to click around the head area because this is where a pop-up would come up if there was one. And then, normally we hit summon, but we're actually just going to go ahead and hit event. So that's what I did here, and we always spawn in this direction. I've tested it. You always do, unless I've just gotten this spawn every single time. I'm going to hold A and W at the same time, so I go diagonally straight like this. I'm going to jump a few extra times, make sure I get in. Now, there's no start button, so what you need to do is wait. That's all you need to do is wait. And I would highly recommend waiting extra time, because what can happen is when you get teleported out, I'll show you guys here in a second, when the timer runs out, it's going to say you haven't started in time, you need to try again. So we're going to see that right now, unless it doesn't happen this time. Which if it doesn't, then then that lets me know I need to wait even longer. So we're going to wait for a quick second here. There we go. Did not start time. Please try again. What? That can happen, and that can actually take a long time to actually teleport you. So, like right now, I teleported pretty fast. But right there, it could have been another 5 or 10 seconds before I teleport. So when I load in, guys, I'm going to make sure I don't hit the start button at the top. And all I'm going to do is wait. I'm not going to hit any movement. I'm going to completely wait a little bit longer. Now, there are 2 spawns, north and east. And we got east. So This is actually the spawn we don't want, so I'm actually going to quickly restart and get the north spawn. Change of plans, everyone. I've been doing this for about 30 minutes, and I've not gotten a single north spawn. So I don't know what happened to the north spawn, but for me, it just won't appear. So instead, this will be an east spawn video. So change that up. If you guys want a north spawn video, I'd try to figure out your... I know how to do a north spawn, but I can't get it. I literally cannot get it. I've been trying to get a north spawn for the literal past 25 minutes. I've been queuing and re-queuing. I have not gotten it once, so we're giving up on it, and instead, we are just going to be doing an e-spawn. It works pretty similar. It actually pretty much works the exact same, except you're facing in different directions, so let's get that figured out right now. Let's load in, and I will show you guys how to do it. Now, if you guys hear leaf blowing in the background, it's because it's fall, and you guys are gonna have to deal with it, because I'm not waiting another like 2 hours to record this video, because it's already taken long enough, so you guys are gonna have to deal with it. Basically, you spawn in like this. I'm gonna wait a little bit in case I have a late spawn, but like I said, guys, sorry about the leaf blower, but don't worry about it, alright? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna wait till about 14 seconds, actually, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit S, and I'm gonna hug here, and I'm gonna go over this way, then I'm gonna hug going back, like so. Like that, and then you're gonna get in this corner. This is a stuck corner. You will be stuck in this corner every time. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go out, and then I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm actually just gonna walk over here. I'm gonna walk down, I'm gonna walk across, whatever. Just get over to the spawn area, however you may do that. I'm gonna do it right here. I think this is a good spot for me. Now, all you gotta do, place your units. Now, guys, some things I recommend. When you see this timer, don't place any units until this timer goes away. So I'm gonna wait. Timer's fully gone. I'm actually going to wait for the text to fade to be extra careful. And now I'm going to place down my Gojo. And then I will also place down my Bulma. And we'll just place the Bulma right here. It doesn't really matter. Now I'm going for wave 50, so I do need smart placements. The placements need to be quite good. I just realized I left attack VFX on, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, we're going to be hopefully going pretty far here. I'm going to wait, like I said, guys, so the text to disappear. I'm going to upgrade once. Now, I actually am going to place down another Gojo as soon as I get a little bit more income, because I'm only $35 over, Gojo. I don't want to mess that up, so there we go. Now I'm going to place down the Gojo, and I'm going to wait once again for this timer to run out, and I'm going to upgrade my Bulma, guys. And basically, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to time-lapse through it entirely, but I will come back at certain points and show you guys what I'm doing. Now, I would highly recommend double placing units. I'm surprised I haven't done it yet. I always double place units. It's where basically you just place the units multiple times like so, just to make sure it actually does get placed. Because if one of those times you miss a placement, you are totally screwed. So make sure you double place, because if you don't and you start upgrading something that doesn't exist in another run, then you are in a really bad position. Now at the start, of course, they are very, very easy. So if you guys want to create this tiny task and you're very low level, you can still do it probably up to about wave 15 or 20. I don't know when it starts to get hard, but yeah, just do keep that in mind. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the north spawn, which I personally like a lot more, but it's whatever, because I will tell you guys, I was trying for about 20-ish, 30-ish minutes, and it just was not happening. Now, like I did mention, New to Pro hopefully coming out tomorrow, or this day. I haven't really decided yet, but yeah, I want your guys' opinion on this update. Personally, I'm not a big fan, because, I mean, this took them a good bit to release. Like, it really did. This took them a little bit to release, and well, I now have like 80k gems. There's no new banner units, so I have to wait till next week to spend my gems, is what I'm basically saying here. So yeah, not that good for me, because having to wait that long, I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm gonna probably have like 100k gems going into the next update. And then of course, there's no new story. It's literally just this, which is just a new map pasted in with Infinite. That's all it is. It's a new Infinite map. And they just added some new skins and stuff. The units are also pretty mid, in case you guys were wondering. I think Perona, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, is pretty much the only good one. I could be wrong on that as well, just keep that in mind. So, yeah, the update, not the best. Now, something I didn't mention, which I hope you guys do know, when you create a tiny task, you can never use right-click, ever. Use right-click and your tiny task is just completely messed up. You also can't use the scroll wheel. That's why when you scroll down for Tinytask, you actually use the bar. And that's why when we get into these, we cannot change our camera angle. Our camera angle must stay the same. So do keep that in mind, guys, because if that gets messed up, then, well, pretty much your entire run is over. Now we're only one upgrade away from Max and Bulma. I want to place down our third Gojo. I think after this, we'll place down our Katakuri's, some True Hearts. And when do airs come? I probably should have thought about that, because I bet airs are coming pretty soon. So, you know what? I'm going to place down a Jalal, because I have no clue when airs are coming, and I definitely don't want to be late to that, so I'm just going to place down my Jalals real quick. We'll wait an extra wait to get our Bulma Max, though. I'll check in with you guys a little bit later when we get our defense up. But basically, guys, you're going to be doing this the entire run. Like I mentioned, some tips I have. Make sure you double place, and make sure you're upgrading more than you thought, because if I, like, right now I'm spamming this upgrade, because for all I know, my ego, if there was a secret boss that spawned, my ego could be a little bit messed up right now, and it may be a little bit delayed. So I'm going to spam click this, and I'm also going to actually click a little bit under in case I never got to that upgrade. So like so, I'm just going to click here, and then I'm going to click up here, like so. So make sure you guys do that kind of stuff. It really will help you out. Now that I've actually thought about it a little bit more, I think it's probably most efficient for me in my instance, in order to farm for candies, I think I should stop at wave 25. Because if I'm starting to rethink it. Wave 50, sure, you get that guaranteed Moria. And sure, I think it drops like 100 candies and a haunted star. But if you go to wave 25, it's much faster. So if your Tinytask messes up, you get in faster. And on top of that, you have chances of getting secret bosses from wave, what is it like? I got one wave 6 one time. You could get the candy golem or whatever. You could get, I think there's 3 other secret bosses or something. There's a bunch. Okay, there's a lot of secret bosses, I'm pretty sure. So I think for me, actually, I think I'm going to stop around wave 25. Could be a mistake on my end, and this could be a really dumb move. But, oh, someone just got a Rainbow Irwin skin. Very nice. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to test it out and hope it works. Now, guys, once the tutorial is over, the tutorial part where I'm actually showing you guys how to do all this, I will actually be playing a time-lapse of 1 or 2 runs of the macro working, so you guys just understand that it actually does work. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys when we plan to sell. Now, something I want to mention that is quite important when it comes to doing this run, no matter what wave you're going to. You never need to sell your units and wait for it to end, because you can leave and still get all of your candy, and on top of that, the XP you get is Senzu Beans. So it's like, what's the point of getting to the end? And also, you don't gain any XP to your units in general, it's just Senzu Beans. So you never need to sell your units and wait for the end. You can just completely go back to your... Now, I can't show it because it would mess up my Tinytask, but I'll explain it before I do it. basically, I'm going to move my mouse, this cursor, all the way over to exactly the point where I started, which you guys remember was actually on the icon to the left of my name on the Roblox website. I'm going to go to that point, hit FN8 because I'm on a 60%. It would be F8 for anyone else that has the same keybinds as me, and it will stop the recording. Then I can save it and hit play, and it will play from that exact point, loop it, and it's perfect. It will work all together seamlessly. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now I think I'm going to probably do it about now, actually. So I'm going to move my mouse over to my other monitor. Like I explained, I'm going to go right on my icon. I'm going to hit FN, F8. I'm going to carefully, hopefully, yes, okay, perfect. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to name this, let's see, what do we name this? Let's name it, I don't even remember the name of this place. It's something, isn't it like Thriller? I don't even know, man. I'm going to name it Candy Farm. I'm going to save it. I'm going to make sure all my preferences are set. And now, guys, I'm going to show you a quick time lapse. I'm going to hit play, and let's just see how well this can work. Alright, everyone, you probably expected to see a time lapse here right now. I've actually decided not to do that. I don't have the time to run the time lapse, finish editing, and upload the video for today. So instead, guys, I did run it a few times, but not all the way through. I actually only ran it to check to make sure the spawn worked. And the spawn did work. So if the spawn works, then that tells me that the rest of the macro will work. So yes, the macro is working for me. And no, I will not be sending anyone the Tinytask file. We have different computers, we have different monitors, we have different monitor resolutions. All that will change and mess up the Tinytask. So no, don't ask me for the file. I will not give it to you. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.